Welcome to another Unwinding with Fiber and Fabric and Countdown to Christmas 2021. Oh my goodness. Yesterday I thought we were getting close to Christmas Eve, but now it's really starting to feel like it's right upon us. And it is certainly the time that if we haven't finished our crafting, we are desperately rushing around trying to get our crafting finished in time. So I am doing one more quick Christmas crafts with you today. These are all different types of quick projects that can be done in the span of one day. I'm saving two last little crafts until tomorrow of this type. But today is just a Mod Podge of quick Christmas crafts that I've either made over the years or others have made that have shared them with me. And so let's just go ahead and dive right in. And I'm going to start with something very fabric oriented. Sometimes we find that we want to have a little bit of decoration or a little extra holiday decoration, but we do not have the time to make a patchwork table runner or tablecloth or placemats or any of the number of things I've shared before. And so I wanted to share this with you. This was something that I made for my mother-in-law years ago. I had a set of napkins, white napkins, simple scalloped edge white napkins, and I had a small quantity of a fabric that really made me think of the Delft porcelainware that she liked to collect. By simply taking and applying a square of that fabric in the center of a purchased napkin, all of a sudden she had napkins that fit her decorating style. This would be a fabulous way to use some of the wonderful Christmas prints, holiday prints. It could be Easter, spring, there's tons of wonderful fabric that come out during different holiday seasons that we just love, but we don't know how to use them because they have big pictures on them and just not sure. This would be a fun way to even use some of the prints that are designed for little kids. Little napkins out of you find a purchased napkin set and you apply. And in this case, it really is simply a folded under hem, stitched around, and then I did a crisscross stitch all on the machine to hold the two pieces together. Fast, simple, easy, and a great way to add a little bit of festive fun to your table, but in a short work session. Next, I know this is one of my grandma's. It is a pom-pom bear. Little piece of fabric gathered up. Then it feels like hot glue to attach on pom-poms and some little beads for eyes. A very simple pom-pom bear. This is another one that my grandma had. I'm really impressed with it. I have tried to do similar and I have not done as well. But it's Mod Podge, and I think it's paper as opposed to fabric. But I've seen it done with fabric and I've seen it done with paper. But it's just Mod Podge on a styrofoam ball, and there you go. Another very simple ornament to go on the tree, last minute gift. I did this one. I was trying my hand at making the little snowballs that you can buy to toss at each other in the lots of little segments. And I didn't like the way it turned out, so I salvaged it by stuffing it and then putting a decorative button on either side. So this is a case of you could just simply take two circle pieces, sew them together, stuff them, making the ball. You don't have to do all the little segments, but then making it tucked in with a cute little ornament. Another very fun and quick project. Little bit of fabric, little bit of way to use the buttons, Yes, these are sewn on as opposed to hot glue. If you wanted to use hot glue, I would still recommend using needle and heavy thread to cinch them up together before gluing the button on or the trinket or whatever. But very simple. And if you're doing this, the threads you want to use a buttonhole thread, you want to use an upholstery thread, you want to use something that's a heavy duty to really suck that in tight and hold it there. So another quick, fast. These my daughter did, very simple. You see one in progress and one that's stitched out. Simple cross stitch. Simple cross stitch patterns. I think my daughter did them. I can't remember now. I know I tried my hand at some, so I may have done it, but once the hand sewing it together. I know that I attached it together, but I don't remember which one of us actually did. It may have been a combination of both of us playing around with these. But very simple cross stitch. So if you're someone who likes to do cross stitch, I am sure you've thought to make a little pillow ornament. We'll go into the next session. So yes, we're just running through these different ideas. This one goes back years. A little bag. It's a sachet, and it's actually filled with potpourri. It no longer really smells, but the nice thing about this is I could very easily go and spray it with any perfume or seasonal scent, and it would be right back to being a wonderful sachet. Normally I stuff these with something like a fiber fill. What I like these days to do is use the scraps from my spinning because the wool makes a wonderful fill and it absorbs the oils, the scents that we spray on it really well, so they make great sachets. And it's a great way to use up the stuff that would otherwise go into the compost. So simple little gift bag, little sachet of scented potpourri or scented fiber. The other day I just showed you some shrink plastic of my mini quilts, keychains, and charms, little ornament. So I showed you some of those. But the year that we were doing the shrink plastic and having so much fun, we made this little one. So we made little charms. They're just printed onto the plastic, or actually in this case you don't even have to print them on the plastic. Put whatever the design it is you want behind the shrinking plastic so that you can see through it, and then color it in. If you want, you can print the Merry Christmas was printed on the shrink plastic, but you can either print on it or you can just simply trace on the design and then color it in. The bell, this one here, based on what I'm looking, it looks like I've colored it in with pencil, honestly. And then it's nice if you put a coat of paint or something over the back. It makes it show up a little. But remember the gingerbread dolls that I showed you a few days ago? Guess what? There he is again, only this time in shrinking plastic. He just shows up everywhere, doesn't he? So shrinking plastic, something that we did when I was a little kid, that I went out and tried to find the materials again when my kids were little. It's a little easier to find. My daughter reminds me that there's a certain food packaging plastic that's the same plastic, so there's a certain number. I'm sure if you Google, you can find it. Lots and lots of information on shrink plastic. So it's a great way to recycle some of those containers that are of the same type, the same recycle number of plastic. Great way to recycle those and use them, just making little charms. But then before I show you this, so this is a glass ball. And guess what's inside of that? It's some of the shrinking plastic. Now, my daughter did not remember how we did this when she was sharing this on her Instagram. And so I had to remind her, believe it or not, the piece of plastic went into the ball before it, after it went through the shrinking process. So what happens when you shrink the shrinking plastic? It tends to curl up, and that's when you know that it is done. It curls up into a tiny little coil, and then magically, as it cools, it opens back up. So we figured if we shoved it in the glass really quickly before it finished cooling, then it would unfurl and be a little magical piece inside a glass ball. So, I really, I hope this is something that you give a try, or you may say, no way. But, again, this was done getting the shrink plastic all ready, putting it in the oven, having it ready with the hole already punched, with everything good to go. So all we had to do is quickly attach it. And I think the way it actually works, if I pulled this out, there's yes, it's attached to fishing wire. The fishing wire is what we hold on to as we put it into the glass ball, then we feed it through. It was a little technique. I don't think I'll be doing these again, but they were fun to try. Nothing like having a magical little piece. And this one is actually a piece that was done by my daughter. She loved doing it, the type of coloring in when she was little, where you just draw a bunch of squiggly black lines and then you color in between, creating a kind of stained glass look. So that's what's in there. A little piece of stained glass looking shrinking plastic for an ornament on the tree. Okay. All right, so then the final ones. These are the final ones. And they can take any shape and size. I did these up a number of years ago as my surprise ornaments for my kids and my husband. These are just fun plastic beads. And to me, they made me think of angels. So, colorful angels, but angels. So, very simple. This is just basic jewelry, fixings, finding wire. Actually, I think it's just copper wire from the hardware store, honestly. But you can just get big beads. It doesn't have to be small and delicate, and make something as simple as this. So, a pom-pom bear, some bead angels, fun and simple and sweet. I just love them. I just really love all of the wonderful, simple, easy to make Christmas ornaments you can do with friends, with family, with a holiday party, something to keep people's hands busy while they're waiting for the food to settle on the table. Something to keep people's hands busy when they've now indulged in all the Christmas food and you want to take a nap, but they are still awake. Sometimes throwing in a fabulous Christmas movie, putting out a table full of Christmas crafts. Sometimes that is the best solution to the day after Christmas or the day after the feast. I hope this inspires you to do some unwinding with fiber and fabric, maybe some beads, maybe some purchased pom-poms. But I hope this encourages you, inspires you to do some crafting. Whether it's just you and your spouse, whether it's just you and your cat, whether it's you and your grandkids, your friends, your family, the person next door, whoever you're spending time with this holiday season, I hope you can enjoy making some simple and easy and very memorable Christmas crafts. They will help brighten this holiday and help you remember the joy you had in years to come. Until tomorrow, and I hope that you are doing well and having joy. Until tomorrow, I wish you blessings, and we'll see you soon.